Welcome to Headphone News, Greater Toronto edition for Saturday, November 23, 2024.
Toronto Food Bank calls for increased donations amid crisis. The North York Harvest Food Bank in Toronto, Ontario, reports a significant rise in food bank visits. From April 2023 to April 2024, visits soared to 3.49 million, reflecting a 38% increase from the previous year. This surge includes 1 million more visits than last year and is nearly 4 times the number seen before the COVID-19 pandemic. Executive Director Ryan Noble urges the public to contribute more and push for policy changes to assist those in need. The recent Who's Hungry report highlights the urgent need for better support, including higher disability benefits and affordable housing solutions. The food bank is calling for community support to ensure that the critical issue of food insecurity receives the attention it deserves.
Canada Post strike disrupts delivery of important documents. The Canada Post strike has now entered its second week, causing major delays in the delivery of important documents for many Canadians and foreign nationals. Chinese national Michael Xu remains in Toronto, waiting for his passport to renew his U.S. work visa. He has spent over $4,000 on hotels and food during this wait. In Belleville, Ontario, 71-year-old Sharn Harrington Hurst is anxiously awaiting her birth certificate, which is needed for surgery related to a brain aneurysm. Service Canada has put a hold on the mailing of 85,000 passports due to the strike. This situation highlights the impact of labor disputes on individuals needing urgent documents and the operations of charities.
Toronto Laneway cleanup challenges. In Toronto, Ontario, a laneway in the Yonge and Wellesley area has turned into a hazardous dumping ground for garbage. Local business owners, including Sarah from Nebulu Coffee, have spent $5,000 hiring contractors to clean up the mess over the past year. The city has refused to take action, citing the laneway's private property status, which has frustrated shop owners worried about health risks and the impact on their businesses. Councillor Chris Moise suggests that local businesses organize their own community cleanups. Residents are concerned about ongoing sanitation issues, as the laneway attracts troubled individuals and is often vandalized. Adam Wynne, chair of the Toronto and East York Community Preservation Panel, points out that the laneway has no legal owner, making it an orphaned laneway. He recommends that the city consider expropriating the property to take responsibility for its maintenance. This situation highlights broader issues of urban management and the responsibilities of local governments in keeping community spaces clean.
Ontario NDP calls for regulation of ticket resale market. The Ontario New Democratic Party, or NDP, is calling on the provincial government, led by Premier Doug Ford, to tighten regulations on the ticket resale market. This request comes after fans have faced steep prices for tickets to Taylor Swift's concerts at the Rogers Centre in Toronto. Some tickets are being resold for $4,000 Canadian dollars, roughly $2,970 while others are priced at $4,500 Canadian dollars, about $3,350 NDP members of Provincial Parliament Kristen Wong-Tam and Chris Glover criticized the government for its inaction on price gouging. They have introduced motions in the Ontario legislature to create a fairer ticket market and to support the arts, culture, and sports sectors in the province. Previously, the government paused a law that would have capped resale prices. This situation highlights ongoing challenges in the ticketing industry, impacting fans and their ability to access live events.
Inquest into Abdirahman Abdi's death in Ottawa. The inquest into the death of Abdirahman Abdi continues in Ottawa, Ontario. Abdi, a 38-year-old Somali Canadian, died after a violent encounter with police in 2016. Officer Montjan, who faced manslaughter charges, gave his first public testimony during this inquest. He responded to tough questions about his actions during the arrest and the training officers receive for dealing with individuals in mental health crises. Montjan expressed condolences for Abdi's tragic death and emphasized that racial bias did not affect his actions. This inquest seeks to improve police training and prevent similar incidents in the future.
Toronto police investigate hate-motivated assault. Toronto police are investigating a hate-motivated assault that took place on July 22, 2023, in the Bloor Street West and Dufferin Avenue area of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. A suspect approached victims, yelled anti-South Asian slurs, and threatened them with a knife. The victims escaped and flagged down a police officer, but the suspect got away. Authorities believe this suspect may be connected to two other similar incidents. He is described as being between 5'9" and 5'10" tall, with a medium build, goatee, and facial hair. He was last seen wearing a navy blue and black top, navy blue shorts, and a navy blue baseball cap. This investigation raises ongoing concerns about the increase in hate crimes in Canada.
Maple Leafs face injury challenges. The Toronto Maple Leafs, a professional ice hockey team based in Ontario, Canada, have placed winger Matthew Knies on injured reserve after he sustained an injury during a recent game against the Vegas Golden Knights. This marks the first game Knies will miss this season. In light of this setback, the team has signed Alex Nylander to a one-year contract. Nylander has been performing well in the American Hockey League with the Toronto Marlies, where he scored 8 goals and 12 points in 14 games. The Maple Leafs are currently facing multiple injuries to key players, including Austin Matthews and Max Pacioretty. Despite these challenges, the team is leading the Atlantic Division with a record of 12 wins, 6 losses, and 2 overtime losses.
Truck fire on Ambassador Bridge. A transport truck carrying auto parts caught fire on the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Windsor, Ontario, Canada, to Detroit, Michigan, USA. The incident occurred in the afternoon on November 22, 2024. Windsor Fire and Rescue Services responded quickly to the scene, and the driver escaped unharmed. Flames engulfed the front of the vehicle, creating heavy smoke. Fire crews removed the truck from the bridge around 3:30 p.m. Fortunately, no hazardous materials were involved in the fire. This incident underscores the importance of safety on major trade routes.
Controversy over roadside sign in Goderich, Ontario. A roadside sign in Goderich, Ontario, has created significant controversy in the community. The sign features the phrase, "White Lives Matter," along with derogatory comments about federal politicians. Local resident Patrick Corbin started a petition calling on local leaders to denounce the message behind the sign. This petition has collected around 900 signatures but has yet to receive a response from the politicians. In reaction to the sign, Corbin organized an anti-hate event at the Goderich Legion to encourage positive dialogue among community members. Mayor Trevor Bazinet has publicly condemned the sign, highlighting the town's commitment to inclusivity. This situation underscores ongoing discussions about race and free speech in Canada.
Carjacking and bus crash in Toronto. 3 suspects were arrested in Toronto after a series of crimes, including a carjacking and a collision involving a stolen vehicle and a Toronto Transit Commission bus. The incidents began on November 1, 2024, when a victim was forced to give up a white BMW X6 in Brampton, Ontario. On November 13, 2024, the stolen BMW crashed into a bus in North York, injuring 9 people. 2 of the suspects in the BMW suffered serious injuries in the crash. Police executed search warrants and found a replica handgun, which led to the arrests of the 3 individuals. This situation raises significant concerns about public safety in urban areas.
FunGuyz closes all locations in Canada. FunGuyz, a chain of illegal magic mushroom stores, has shut down all 30 of its locations across Canada. This decision comes after more than 120 police raids. Most stores were in Ontario, including major cities like Toronto and Ottawa, with 1 location in Montreal. A spokesperson for FunGuyz stated that police seized products worth over $20,000 during a raid. The closure has left over 50 employees without jobs and raised concerns among customers. Despite the shutdown, FunGuyz plans to continue selling products online at discounted prices. This situation brings attention to ongoing discussions about the legal status of psilocybin mushrooms in Canada.
Privacy breach in Hamilton. City records calls without consent. The city of Hamilton in Ontario, Canada, recorded about 89,737 phone calls made by residents without their knowledge. This breach occurred after a cyber attack on February 25, 2024, which disrupted the city's phone system. To handle calls, city officials used a backup phone system that failed to properly notify callers about the recordings. The issue was discovered on August 15, 2024, and the recording function was subsequently turned off. It took 3 months for city officials to inform the public about the situation, raising concerns about transparency and accountability. City Manager Clucky stated that the recordings were securely stored and not accessed inappropriately. The city has pledged to delete the recordings and improve communication regarding privacy practices. Residents are worried about the effects of this breach on personal privacy and trust in local government.
Seniors excluded from Canadian Inflation Relief Program. The Canadian government has announced a new program offering $250 checks to working Canadians earning $150,000 or less in 2023. Prime Minister Trudeau stated that these checks aim to assist many individuals dealing with inflation. However, many seniors feel left out of this relief effort. Residents like Neil from Edmonton and Elizabeth from Woodstock, Ontario, have voiced concerns about discrimination against older citizens. The program is projected to cost about $4.68 billion Canadian dollars, roughly $3.43 billion US dollars. Critics, including advocacy groups and opposition parties, are urging for a more inclusive approach to support all Canadians, especially those on fixed incomes.
Fatal stabbing in Scarborough, Toronto. A tragic incident took place in Scarborough, a district in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, involving a fatal stabbing. Kulathungham Mathasudi, age 66, was found dead at his home on Whitley Castle Crescent. Emergency crews arrived at the scene on Wednesday night. Police arrested his son, Alanko, age 32, who now faces a charge of first-degree murder. The motive for this incident is still unclear. This situation raises serious concerns about family violence within communities.
Trudeau attends Taylor Swift concert in Toronto. On November 22, 2024, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau attended a Taylor Swift concert in Toronto, Ontario. This event is part of Swift's Popular Eras Tour, which has had a significant economic impact on the city, estimated at around $282 million Canadian dollars, or about 210 million United States dollars. Over 240,000 fans attended the concerts, creating a lively atmosphere. Trudeau had previously reached out to Swift on social media, inviting her to perform in Canada. His presence at the concert underscores the connection between politics and cultural events.
That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.